Hey, did you go to South?
What's that?
Did you go to South High?
No, I'm not from Cleveland.
Oh, you're not from Cleveland. Oh, okay.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Hey
So you live.
guys, how you doing? Show's live. No, I moved up here because of it was easier to get away with crime, to be honest with you. And then
Oh,
I
okay.
got sober, so I've been in Cleveland ever since. I got 2 kids here in Cleveland, so I work in Cleveland.
Okay.
I'm not going anywhere anytime soon.
Sounds good.
But so Kevin, tonight we're doing a show about what is high value for men and women. So what are your classifications for high value?
All right. Well, starters, I have my own show, my own platform on Kevininsells, and I do episodes and live streams about a multiplicity of things. We deal with politics, science, etc. But one thing particularly is red pill. And lately, with Kevin Samuels and other high-level red pill content creators, they're dealing with this whole topic of high value and low value. And high value can be arbitrary. It could be from your own perspective. But in my opinion, high value for a man is really based on nature, just like it's based on nature for a woman. Now, if you look at nature, you know, we're no different from a goddamn chimpanzee, I think. And they've done studies with this. They've done studies that the chimp with the most, items or the most food, everybody comes to him. So if you think in terms of resources, the man with the most resources is considered high value. And that's why, NBA players, NFL players, entertainers, actors, and actresses have high value. Um, resources for a man. Would you agree?
I would I would agree. I also wouldn't agree because people with high if you're gonna go I agree with you with resources, but at the same time also Kevin Samuel's whole you have to be making $10,000 a month for at least 3 years, his standard.
Yeah.
Like I would think that high value $10,000 a month would have a different name, because that's literally $10,000 a month is 10% of the population. Most people that
Sure.
us aren't going to run into a person that makes $10,000 a month. So I understand his qualification, but in general, I would think a high quality man would also have to do with morals, and it have to do with morals, because for your average person,
Mm-hmm.
obviously celebrities and stuff, most of us aren't going to be celebrities. Most of us aren't going to be making $10,000 a month. So for where he's at in the area, I understand what he's saying. But guys like me and you, we probably won't get to $10,000 a month anytime soon. So I think high value has to be different for when we talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, the unfortunate thing is I agree with you looking at it from your perspective, but because social media, because of the internet, because of hypergamy, um, larger society doesn't see it like that. And yes, you would think that morals and being nice and how you treat your neighbor would be basis for high value. But what I've learned in life in 35 years is that people don't give a shit about that. And when I was in my 20s, I was super nice. When I was in my teens, I was super nice. You know, um, listen, man, I got all types of college degrees. I've worked in all types of places before. And I can tell you this, man, nobody gives a fuck. I've dated females and I've been around women and mind you, these are, bitches from where we're from. Where we're from. And they're saying that, oh, I need somebody who can do better. Because remember, they're on social media and they're looking at women who are living in Dubai or living in Miami, and they know somebody who's driving a Lamborghini or a Ferrari, whether it's rented or not. So they're basing what they're seeing on social media and comparing it to your average guys like us. So yeah, you are right. I mean, you would think that high value will be based on what we can produce right now, considering the fact that most of the population will never ever obtain that $100,000 a year or $10,000 a month threshold. But it's just the reality of the situation, man. Like, people don't view it like that in the grand scheme. Women don't view it like that, and men don't view it like that. It's really unfortunate from my perspective. I mean, to each his own and how you want to believe, man. But
no, like I totally get I totally get it. Like, I totally get what you're saying.
mm-hmm.
But like, I'm not, when I say morals and stuff, I don't mean necessarily like a nice guy.
I know what you mean.
More of like a stand-up guy.
Yeah.
Like, myself personally, I really don't care if broads want a high value dude. Like, cool, you're not ever gonna get it, but like, if you want to live in that fantasy, you can live in it all you want. Mm-hmm. If you want a dude that has 16 inches, like, you can hunt for it. You might not find it. I doubt it.
Yeah.
But see, like, I'm not, like, myself personally, like, would I like to get to $10,000 a month? For sure, I would love to. Am I really concerned about it? I'm not, because I really don't want good look, like those 10s and 12s. The 10 that's fire but gets modified to be a 12. I don't want her. I don't want these. Like, I really am not on the woman tip. Like, I'm seeing a girl now, but not really a thing.
Yeah, unfortunately, man, it goes back to what I originally said about biology, and I don't know what you believe in, but I certainly believe that we are some sort of an ape, and I believe that our brains are hardwired to think in a very primitive mindset. And it's as much as I've been around chicks who have quote unquote college degrees or quote unquote who are educated or have a little job, I'm attracted to the fucking 19-year-old girl who works at Mr. Hero, who's 5'10" and looks good. Like, it's just it's my monkey brain clicking in. I don't give a shit. And mind you, I've been out with all types of women. And, like I said, man, I'm not trying to say I went to college, like, oh, I went to college. But what I'm saying is that I'm not attracted to chicks who are educated. And to a degree, that could be considered high value, but it's not. High value, really, from my perspective, works on biology. And most men, at the end of the day, a high value female is a female who's a bitch who looks like a goddamn model. And that's what it really is. On my platform, I've done all types of videos, and girls get mad at me all the time. They DM me, they text me. I've even get on my phone number, and they've even called me. And they don't like my definition of a high value female. And a high value female is a female who looks like a model. And then they say, well, why do you say that? And how can you prove it? I said, well, how can I prove it? Look at the fucking Vogue magazine. Vogue brought in, I think their revenue last year was like $6.5 billion. If Vogue really wanted some short, fat, pudgy girl from fucking Milwaukee on it, why don't they have it on there? That represents most of America. But no, what it is that the people who advertise for Vogue, they know that every human being or a male, their brains are hardwired to think in a very primitive mindset. That's why the skinny chick who's tall looks better advertising a car or advertising a high-end purse. It's just the truth. I mean, we were, me and you were pretty much the same age. I mean, even back in the day when we were kids, like those car magazines, how come you didn't get fat girls on it? How come you didn't get a fat girl with a PhD on it? You got the tall, slender females, and that's high value, man. Like, and it sucks, man. It sucks, but it's just the reality of the situation.
So myself personally, I don't like tall chicks. Like, that's just me personally.
But aren't you tall?
Yeah, even though I'm tall. Like,
well, I mean, what any chick like that's 5'8" to 5'10" be? I mean, they're still tall, but they're not tall to you though. I got you.
Yeah, but I would rather not date a chick that's that tall. I like fun size. Like I like 4'11", 5', 5'2". Like my son's mom's 6 foot tall, and like I did not enjoy it. I did not enjoy her height.
Well, I mean, give me 1 second, guy.
No problem. So when it comes down to like the like for me, when it comes to a high value woman, like maternal instinct, youth, and being cooperative, like those are like those are what are crucial to me. Like I've dated very attractive women and I've dated average women, and I would rather have a woman that's like a 6. Like if we're gonna use Kevin Samuel scale, like a 6. I think he calls it what's he call it? I forget, a sliding 6 or what. I think he calls it a sliding 6. I would rather date a sliding 6 than like an 8 or a 9. I can't say I've ever had a 10.
Well, I mean, I don't think anybody can say they're ever 10. I did a video on how to properly rank as well, and you know the chances of you getting a 10 are slim to none. I mean, a 10 really represents the fact that a woman looks better than 99% of the women on the planet. So, like,
Yeah.
for example, Zoe Zeldana is a 10. You know who that is, right?
What was that?
You know who Zoe Zeldana is, right?
No, not off the top of my head.
Zoe Zeldana is the chick that played Gamora in in the Marvel movies.
I don't watch TV or movies like that, so I'm not hip.
Shit. Okay. Damn. Okay. Well, she's smoking hot. She's from Dominican Republic, man. She's like 40, but she hasn't aged a bit. She's smoking hot. But yeah, I mean, you're right, man. You know, chick who. So here goes the thing. What about being domestic as well?
Yeah. So like that goes back to maternal instinct.
Right. Natural things, right?
Correct.
Okay, good. So a lot of girls who follow me, well, not girls, a lot of women who follow me, I mean, they get really irate at me. You know, these are 35, 40, 50-year-olds, and they don't understand. Like, you know, they tell me, like, well, how come, you know, you're so shallow and I have a degree and I have a job. And I say, listen, a man doesn't give a shit. And I tell them, I say, why don't you just be the best mother you can be, or be the best, you know, if you are married, be the best wife. But, you know, you trying to chase this dream of competing on the scale of beauty, you can't beat out a 21-year-old girl. It's impossible, you know. And women don't get that. They don't get that high value is really based on beauty. They don't get it. That's the number. It's the paramount. It's the number one thing.
Well, anytime you talk to a woman about like them being valued for their beauty, they get mad because they're like, yeah, well, you know, that's not really fair. Oh, sorry, but it is what it is. Like, women are the better looks of the species. Men are the stronger ones of the species. That's why we're judged on resources. You're judged on beauty. Like, why I often tell them when they talk to me about like, well, why don't they make products that make men look better? Why is that not a $10 billion industry?
Yeah. I mean, that's a good question, man. Why don't they?
Because it's not relative. It wouldn't sell.
Yeah, well, no man is gonna buy it, right?
Yeah, like, well, look how many people, like, say a dude's like when LeBron was losing his hair, he used to put that shit in his hair, and you would see his hairline move. People clowned him for that. But a woman has weave in or extensions,
exactly,
a wig on, no one says anything.
So it goes back to what we keep on talking about. I think we're on the same accord here. It's all about nature. Men aren't judged off their looks. Men are judged on resources. And like you say, he was clowned because he was trying to make himself look a certain way. People don't give a shit about that. But a woman could wear a wig or this and that to make her look youthful, or makeup to make her look more vibrant. Nobody says anything because it is what we really want. You know, have you seen my video on breast?
No, I've not.
Okay. I said how breast can make or break a female, and I've did it on like like older women getting breast implants. I encourage older women. Like when I used to work at 9 to 5, I used to encourage the women around me who were over 30 and said, listen, your breasts are sagging. You may not be that hot in the face, but one thing that you can change is your breasts, because that's one of the first things a man does when they look at you. And a lot of the women where I worked at, like, they thought the shit was funny what I said, but then they would come back to me and say, you know what, Kay, you're an asshole, but you're right. I said, I know I'm right. I'm telling you as a man what we look at when we first look at you. When you get to talking and running off at the mouth, we have to like divert the attention to something else. And if you got a nice rack, you know.
So, are you a tit man or an ass man?
Oh, straight up tits.
See, I'm an ass man.
So you could be 70 years old if you got some good tits. Tits is all.
Yeah, yeah, like tits. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, there are definitely times when I see a woman that has some huge, like just some huge tits, and like I'm just interested because I want to see what those look like. But that's the only curiosity I have. But a woman with an ass, like, yeah, I'm trying to be close to that all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I said, to each his own, man. I like tits, man. Especially on like a skinny female too. Oh yeah, and again, I've told women that increases your value, your sexual market value. And a lot of females, man, like I said, man, like they listen to me, they get mad at me, but they come back, they DM me or they text me, they say, I hate you, Labuto or Kevininsells, but you're right. And I'm like, yeah, I know I'm right. I'm telling you, because a lot of men won't admit these things to you. A lot of men won't say these things because they're simps. But you're not attractive because you have a college degree, because you have a job, because you have a car. No. I would rather stop my car and try to holler at the 18-year-old girl who looks like a model walking down the street to her job at McDonald's over a chick with a PhD any damn day.
Well, not even that, but when you see a woman, like, you don't see a PhD. So like a lot of times when women like be talking about, oh well, I'm accomplished or I'm a good woman, I got a degree, and it's like, but that's not true. And like they try to argue. I'm like, okay, so when you were on Tinder, I'm like,
Right.
did you have a picture of your PhD?
Mm-hmm.
Or did you have your titties out? Oh, yeah, your titties out. Okay. Were you doing butt poses with your PhD? Oh, no. Okay. You just had some boy shorts on with your back to the camera. Gotcha. Obviously, your degree is like, that's so attractive. That's why it's all over your Tinder program. Oh, it's not. Okay. Like, the problem I see right now is that a lot of women have been fed a lot of bullshit, and women know the truth, but they just want to lie to themselves about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like they just don't want to come undone from the brainwashing.
Right. The tragedy of what social media has done, the internet, that now a lot of women don't understand the sexual market as well, like fat women, short women, ugly women. And the problem is that, places like the Midwest, right, where unless you're in Chicago, most of the women don't look like this. They don't understand the essence of the sexual market. What say you?
So I definitely think that the market is fucked. And I think the market is fucked because back when we were kids in the 90s, to be a supermodel, you had to be a supermodel. Like, not any basic broad was a model. But now you can be a five with a fat ass, and you can make an OnlyFans or get on Instagram and get paid for having a fat ass and being a 5. And now you're a model.
Yeah, sickening.
Most of the Instagram models you see are like 5s or 6s. Like, they're like, you don't see a lot of 10s or 9s on Instagram.
No, you don't, because they don't have to be on Instagram. A 10 is I mean, for the most part, a 10 is a highly paid supermodel, you know, or a chick that's in a movie, you know, doing a lead character, or the side girl to the character, or whatever. But the problem with what has happened is that a lot of women don't understand the market, and they get so mad at me when I say I'm not attracted to a 26-year-old, and like it just blows their minds away. And I think that's why like a lot of females like, dude, I'm ugly, and I think I have like three girls who are stalking me right now on my page. And I think it's and Shauna, if you're listening, she's one of them. But they're so infatuated with me because it's like they have been told that they have some sort of high value, and I try to tell them like, no, you don't. At 31 years old, you should have been married. You should have been married for at least 8 9 years by now. So you can't expect men like me to put you on a pedestal. No, because you know why? You're 31, but there's a million other 21-year-olds out there. So they don't understand that. Like the market is always going to be the same, whether it's the internet or not. You know, because back in the day, in the 90s, a short or an ugly girl or a fat girl, they would have known to have gotten married at a very young age. Because the older that they're going to get, you know, their market value just decreases like rapidly. Even the good looking girls, your market value will decrease. You know, and by 26, 27, it's like, I hate to say it, it's a wrap.
Well, I think it's funny that even before the internet, if you go on like Reddit and stuff, you'll hear people like you'll hear stories of guys that were older that were in high school in the 70s and 80s, and women didn't pay them no attention.
Yeah.
But once they went back for their like 10-year reunion, and those girls had went with all the bad boys and they had ruined their lives, and the guys that they overlooked now are established. Now they're throwing themselves at, like, there's been multiple movies like that in just in the last like 10 or 15 years of guy going back and everyone throwing, all the women throwing themselves at him. So this isn't like a new idea, but women, like, for whatever reason, women just like stare at it in the face and think it's a lie.
Mm-hmm.
Like social media, I think, has fucked women up way more than men.
Mm-hmm. Dude, excuse me for eating, man.
You're good.
I have so many friends that are girls that are single, that are single mothers in their 30s, still expecting Will Smith to come walking through the door. It's the funniest thing, man. And because they don't understand the sexual market, they don't understand what a high value, low value is. They don't understand that you're low value. Like, and I'm not saying low value isn't a bad thing, because to a degree, I'm low value. I'm not a millionaire. But the thing is that social media is telling all these women that they are high value. Like, look at Lizzo. You know who Lizzo is, right?
I do.
Let me ask you a question. You're a little bit younger than me, but would Lizzo have existed in 1994?
Like, if she was a good singer, like if she was a singer or she was a good performer, and her music wasn't like sexual and like popping her ass, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But her act as it is now in the 90s, she would have never blew up.
Exactly.
Yeah, that would have never happened. Like, what was crazy was the fact that she literally had the gall to twerk at the NBA. Like, why would you be at a game and be twerking like that? Like, that's how you know these women are so delusional.
Yep. And none of the Lakers players or Clippers, I think they're playing the Clippers that night, and no one talked to her.
I wouldn't have talked to her either.
No one talked to her. And what it is that you can have all the confidence that you want, and that's fine. You can have all the value, the self-value. Yeah, it's fine to believe in yourself, but nobody has to listen. If you came to my house and you were under the impression I had a car to sell to you, and you said, "All right, LeBoot, I'm gonna come look at this car," and you got to my house and it was a goddamn Geo Prism, and I told you that it's a Geo Prism. I want to charge you $50,000 for it because I believe it's worth 50,000. What are you gonna say to me?
Fuck no.
Fuck no. You gonna say, dude, I got $2,000. I give you $2,000 for this little piece of shit. because that's what is value. That's what it is. That's the real. That's a true value or intrinsic value. And that's what I try to tell a lot of these women, but they think that I'm bashing them. They think that I'm like, I'm not bashing you. I'm trying to tell you, like, all right, for example, like the woman that Kevin Samuel said was average at best. He was helping her out because nobody else has been helping her out. She made a fool of herself by even camming up. You know, be a good mother. Be a 10 at being a mother. Be a dime at being a mother. You're 35 years old. It's a wrap. But nobody's told her that because we live in this social media generation.
Can you see the comments?
I can. I'm about to. I can see what Blake wrote. Yeah. So the thing is that, I mean, in my opinion, that's high and low value, man. A man is high value when he has a lot of resources. A woman is high value when she looks super hot and she's young. I just hate. I mean, that's the truth. And the expectation is that if you're 22, 23, you're supposed to have gotten married. If it's, you know, but any woman for the most part. But these older women who are, you know, fat and ugly and short, it's like they don't get it. Like, you know, like you don't get it. Like you don't have too much value.
Well, see, I think that pretty much women are doomed. I feel that women are doomed in this, and the reason that they're doomed is because at the end of the day, a lot of men are not getting married. So even like the girls that aren't low value in their 20s, the good looking girls, most of them aren't going to get married because most dudes don't want to get married. Most, like, dude, it's just not going to work out. The market has been so fucked from women not, like, women's roles in life changing and men's roles not changing, and women wanting to get college degrees and them thinking that their value is well above what it is. And most women these days can't cook or clean. Like, most women these days are grown children.
Yeah, you're definitely correct. Give me a second, man.
So Blake, do you know who Blake is?
Yeah, I've spoken to him before. He was on, I want to say, whose panel was he on? I spoke to him before. I can't remember whose panel he was on. What's up, though?
So his comment at you, it was at me. It was at me, but it's directed towards you. It says, "Would you marry a 10 if he had $1 million and didn't know anything at all about domestic duties or children?" I'm assuming she.
Let me read it real quick. Let me read it real quick. Yeah, I would. And I'm gonna tell you why. Give me 1 second, bro. I'm sorry. I'm trying to fix this connection. Give me 30 seconds, bro.
No problem. Hey, New, what's going on? Like, so John says that.
Give me a second, bro. I'm trying to get some signal.
All right. So John, I don't think that like Instagram simps are, like, when I say doomed, I don't mean like them not getting attention and whatnot.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, there we go. Okay, he said, "Would I marry a 10 and she doesn't have to be? And she does not have to be domestic." Absolutely. The idea is that if I was a millionaire, I would have enough money to pay for an individual that will be able to, you know, cook, maintain the house like a maid or a servant. The idea of dating a 10 is the idea that, okay, well, she's a 10. The likelihood of your children being beautiful are sky high. And if you have a daughter, she would be beautiful enough that you can practice almost like a dowry system, and that, you know, you would hope that a man of high value would date her and keep the, you know, wealth continuing. So I think that would be an even exchange if your wife was a total dime. No, she wouldn't have to do all that shit. because the expectation is that this whole thing of beauty will create even more wealth because your children will be beautiful. So if you have a beautiful wife, your daughter will be beautiful. And you know, cultures used to do this all the time back in the day. This dowry system.
Oh, for sure. So I don't know if you know this, but Ohio is a dowry state.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so a dowry state is kind of like common law. So if you live with the woman for like 5 years,
Okay.
or it's either you live with them for 5 years or you date them for 5 years, that they are able to get like alimony from you.
See, I didn't know that. Okay. And it must have been like that since like the founding of the state, possibly.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think it's been used anytime recently, but
Of course.
I actually was found this out from a guy that I work with that told me, yeah, like actually that's on the books here in Ohio.
Okay. Yeah,
But,
I mean, yeah, but like I said, to answer that question, yeah, definitely, man. Like you know, like Savage, man, I'm telling you, man, like everything that we're talking about, I've done detailed videos, like standalone videos or live streams about it.
So how do you feel about Kevin Samuels saying Beyonce is an 8, and also how do you feel about WAP, the song WAP?
Okay, so Beyonce is not an 8. Kevin Samuels, his position is skyrocketing, so he has to be nice. He has to, go along with popular culture. Beyonce is more than likely a 2.5, maybe a 3. I think he was just being nice. I think a lot of men know that. I've never have found Beyonce attractive or like that. Now, in terms of entertainment value, she's 100. Um, you know, in terms of WAP, I think that's filthy. If I had a daughter, I would never want her to listen to that shit. And I think that the whole WAP phenomenon is a perfect example of the degradation of female or femininity. It's horror culture, you know. I think I've done live streams on it on my channel where I say anybody who dates a woman who listens to Cardi B or Meg Thee Stallion, they're in for trouble. If she's not listening to Sade or Anita Baker or something like that, or just like jazz, you might want to hit the road because that woman, her mind is being twisted with demonic. Rap is nothing but casting a spell. You know, and that's what music generally is, just casting spells, and that's what they're doing. And you got to think about it, man. 30 years ago, women didn't sexually exploit themselves. You know, women sexually exploit themselves now because social media has allowed them to do that. So that's where you get WAP from. I think it's filthy. I think it's disgusting. If you're around somebody like a woman who spouts that WAP shit, walk away because she's mentally ill. Something's wrong with her.
So I totally agree with you that it's spell casting. Also, so since I brought up WAP, a lot of times when you listen to the Manosphere, because the Manosphere has pretty much became like black content creators. That's pretty much who's relative right now. There isn't a whole lot of non-black YouTubers that are big in the sphere, and a lot of the times when they bring up WAP, anytime that that is brought up, it's always deflected to the white man. So
what do you mean?
So like whenever a black content creator brings up WAP to women deflect it to that's not black women making it's not black women pushing that, it's white men who own the record labels that are pushing that. So do you feel that it's the record label that pushed that, or do you think that was a Cardi B that pushed that?
Listen, first of all, Cardi B pushed it because it came out of her goddamn mouth. First of all, it goes back to the whole thing what I keep saying, man. Women have the luxury to blame shift because at the heart they're children, just like children. You know, you don't expect a child to take on the responsibility or the or the aftermath of something because they're not capable of doing it. That's why on my channel I tell people who follow me, you need to tell women what to do. You need to shame them. If a woman's a whore, shame them. Stop doing that. Stop being a whore. If a woman is doing something stupid, tell her, stop doing that. Because you are going to be the one that's going to be to blame. For example, I'll give you a perfect example. One of the reasons why I don't date, was that a pit? One of the reasons why I don't date women, especially black women in the Midwest, is because they're ignorant. They're loud. They're violent. And a lot of times, what happens is that they put men in danger, and I've seen it. And listen, I grew up in the suburbs, but also grew up, but also have kicked it in the inner city enough to see it. I've seen females start altercations with another man, and her man is there, and the other man will attack and beat up the man that she's with because she started it. So I tell men who follow me, look, if you're with a girl, tell her when we're out in public, shut the fuck up, don't talk. And girls, Shauna, if you're listening, they'll call in and say, Labuto, he's so mean, he's so this, he's so that. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I've seen men get fucked up because of a woman talking, running her fucking mouth, Yeah, dude, let me ask you a question. You ever seen, and I'm going to get back to the whole thing about the WAP and the record label because everything I'm saying, okay. How long have you been in Ohio?
My whole life.
Okay. Remember the case in Akron? This happened about 15 years ago. It was a loud, fat black woman in this pizza restaurant. I don't know what had happened, but maybe she cut in front of the white guy, or I don't know how it happened. But basically, the white guy said, hey, this bitch went out to the car, got her husband. Now, this dude was about, hey, man, this dude was like 6'5", 6'6", man. He beat the goddamn shit out this dude, man. And the dude, I mean, he couldn't even fight back because he was so small. And the thing is that there goes another example of an out of control female, but who takes the brunt is the man. So same thing with these record labels. It's easy to place the blame on the white man or the record labels, but no, it's your mouth spouting it out. That's why men need to say, sweetheart, I don't fuck with women who listen to that kind of music. Because listen, I know you're not buying Cardi B's rap. I know you're not listening to Cardi B. It's women. But you need to shame women. When they listen to that, shame them. Are you a whore? You're listening to Cardi B, so you must be a whore. Shame them. Go ahead.
So the reason I actually remember that story. Like I remember I don't remember the specifics, but I do remember a woman getting her husband and her husband beating the crap out of it, dude. But
yeah,
here in Ohio, like I've seen a dude get stabbed. Some dude was beating up on his girlfriend, and dude went over there and pulled dude off her, and the chick stabbed dude in the back.
Stabbed the dude trying to help her, right?
Yeah.
That's
like
that's why I listen. I did a video about this, or a live stream about this, and people were mad at me, of course. And the thing is that I don't say these things just for shock value. Sometimes I do, but I don't. I really say it because I lived enough or long enough to have seen things that are just shocking in my life, man. My best friend, a friend of his, who I don't know if you heard about this case, but this was downtown Cleveland a few years ago. It was over a female, and he had got into an altercation with these guys about a female. He was super wasted, and the two dudes were trying to jump him or something, but he ran, or he was running back or something. slipped and bust his head on the concrete, died a few days later because the blood filled his brain over a fucking female.
Yep. I actually, so when I was like in middle school, one of the kids, one of my cousin's friends got shot in the face over a female.
Right, and over something probably trivial. So when you ask me about this whole WAP thing, it's up for men in the red pill to shame women who listen to that shit, because the the burden of responsibility will always fall on the man, and that is the problem. Why does it have to fall on the quote unquote white man? Because this bitch is rapping about wet ass pussy. No, she wrote those fucking lyrics. Didn't no fucking short Jew write it.
True.
Let's be completely honest. You think some 80-year-old Jew who owns I don't know what record label she's from, you think he wrote that shit? No. But you know what he's doing? He's exploiting the ignorance, and that's what other groups of people have always been good at.
Well, see, this is the thing. Like, I don't even look at it like I don't look at it as exploiting at this point, because
you mean the record?
Yeah, I don't think the record labels are exploiting artists at this point, because they are, but everyone knows that they are. Like, everyone's known that record deals are horrible.
Yeah.
Like, it's a shit show to get signed to a label. So anyone that gets signed to a label now, I don't want to hear them come out and complain about how the label's fucking them. Like, you knew they were fucking all your friends, all the people in the 90s. Like, TLC came out and said that they were signed and they were broke.
Yep.
So at this point, like, no. Like, maybe if the record label thing just started, like, you know, last year, okay, you were being exploited. But when you have artists for the last, like, 60 years talking about how they got robbed by the label, no, you're just willingly getting used. Like,
exactly. Yeah, I mean, I totally agree, man. At this level, I mean, this has been common knowledge since the 60s and the 70s with record labels. But, again, it goes back to, even I did it by saying they're being exploited. I'm blame shifting, right? So the thing is that it's easy for this whole WAP phenomenon to blame shit to somebody else, because she doesn't want to take on the responsibility of the aftermath. And again, that's what I preach on the Red Pill, especially on my channel.
So we're in the same area, and you don't date black girls out here, you said.
I don't date I particularly, and I've made this known, I don't date black girls in Cleveland for a particular reason. Largely because Cleveland is not a diverse city. You get what I'm saying, bro? Or you want me to expound upon that?
I get what you're saying, but for the people that are
okay,
watching.
So, a lot of people who don't know me or my channel, I get deep into, especially like Midwestern politics. But 3 generations ago, a lot of blacks moved to Cleveland and Akron in the Ohio area from the South. And Cleveland at one point was a very industrious city. But because of, the factories leaving Cleveland and the automobile industry leaving Detroit, it left a big hole in the economy in large parts of the Midwest, particularly Michigan and Ohio. Therefore, no new blacks were moving into the city. So if you really sit back and think about it, there's been a depopulation in Ohio, and particularly Cleveland, for the past, I think, like 50 years. You can look it up. This ain't me just talking. So you have to think, who are all these people breeding with? Well, if you sit back and think about it, if most black people came from like Alabama, Tennessee, and they came here like 3 generations ago, you can almost bet that people are really breeding with like distant relatives or something. I mean, they don't know it, but you're probably breeding with a 10th cousin or something. And there's a lot of mental illness in Cleveland and Akron and shit. You can see it when you just hell go to any park. You can see the mental illness. You can see it. So one of the reasons why I try to stay away or not date is because you have a lot of mental illness, a lot of individuals here who suffer from cognitive um, delays. And Savage, I'm pretty sure you've seen it too, man. And I'm pretty sure you want to be careful in what you say, but I think it's easier for me to say it being black. But I can see it in Cleveland, man. Like it's a lot of people here who can barely form a sentence. There's some sort of like again cognitive disabilities here. There's a lot of it, and at one point, Cleveland used to be, I think it still is. I mean, because I've taught in Cleveland public schools, but the number one worst school systems in the country. And there's a reason for it. It's no mixture in genetics here. There's no Africans coming here. There's no Black Islanders coming here in mass breeding with the other blacks. So it's really just the same blacks breeding amongst themselves. That's where you get like a West Virginia from, for example. It's the same whites breeding with each other. That's why you get that stereotype. I hate to say it, but it's true. No, why would any progressive white man move to West Virginia unless he's, I don't know, he's running for governor or he's a billionaire or something, but there's no reason for it. But big cities like New York, Dallas, LA, you got hundreds of different cultures. So that's one of the main reasons why I try not to associate or breed or fuck with none of these Cleveland girls, because you just never know who you're breeding with. Does that make any sense, Savage? Or
I know exactly what you're saying.
Okay.
So my family's from West Virginia.
So okay, you know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about. My family moved from West Virginia. My grandparents moved from West Virginia in the 60s or 70s, in the 60s.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of industry up here. All the work was in Ohio, not in Cleveland, or not in West Virginia. And my grandmother moved up here with my grandfather, and they divorced. Well, then my grandmother remarried another man from West Virginia, and he is my 9th cousin or 10th cousin, even though we're not related.
And that's what I'm saying. We didn't talk about this before, but how did I know that? So
yeah. So, like, fortunately for me,
here
in Cleveland, I don't have an issue dating black girls because obviously I'm not black. So it don't affect me. It doesn't. The gene pool doesn't affect me, but
it doesn't affect you or your children.
Yeah,
but think about if you went back to West Virginia, it might be a problem, Or and that's what I'm saying. So, like when a lot of girls they say, and these girls who complain about me, these chicks are from like New York and shit, But and I try to explain to them, and like somebody in the chat said, there's mental illness in every city. They're missing the point. The point is that there is a reason why a small city like Cleveland is that 1 in every 3 people you see is just walking around like, crazy and shit. And there's a reason why. There's a lot of lead poisoning here. It's a lot of, I'm telling you, it's not that it's something in the air, but there is a genetic factor behind what is going on in a lot of these small cities. And it's imperative that if somebody's like 19 or 20 listening to us, leave. If you live in any Midwestern city other than Chicago, leave. I'm telling you, leave. I wish I would have done it.
If you live in Chicago, if you live on the south side, you might want to leave as well.
Well, the south side, yeah, but most of Chicago is pretty wealthy. I mean, Chicago is rich as far as I'm concerned. I mean, they got $2-3 million homes off the lake, man. But yeah, man, like that's one of the reasons why I don't. And then a lot of women in Cleveland don't look that good. Like that's number 2 for it, and that's definitely number 2. So
the one thing I do think is funny, I see this more in Cleveland than I do in other places. So like I'm from Windham, Ohio, and I grew up in.
I know what Windham is. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I only went to Windham till I was like 7, and then we moved to Ravenna. But like out in Ravenna, like you don't have like.
You lived in Ravenna?
I lived in Ravenna. Yeah.
Okay.
My family lives out there still.
Really, I used to. When I went to Kent, man, we used to go kick it in Ravenna. Some of my friends had houses out in Ravenna.
Yeah, he got dropped. All right, so yeah, when he talks about like everything going on with like the mental illness. There's so many crazy homeless people out here in Cleveland. Like so many. It's ridiculous. Let's see if we can get him back. Here he is.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You said you talking about Ravenna.
Yeah, so out in Ravenna, like when you have girls, like it's such a small town that you actually have like small town girls. Like there's girls that are good looking, and then there's girls that are average, and the average girls really don't think that they're 10s. But here in Cleveland, like average broads think that they're 10s. Like 6s think that they're 10s. Like there's such a vast amount of girls that are cute, but they think that they're the hottest shit in the land. Like there's a chick on my Instagram right now that's got like 3 kids or 2 kids, and she's in her 30s and she looks good. Like I'm not gonna say
where does she live at?
I don't know where she lives. She's just on my Instagram. She's in the Cleveland area. But like I don't know her personally, but she's on my Instagram and she doesn't look bad. Like she's not an ugly looking woman. But she thinks she's hot shit. She's got 3 kids. And she's always like showing her ass. Like she goes on her live stream when like they go to the bar, it's her and her friend, and they're at the bar live streaming it. And I'm just like, why do you think that you're so important that people want to watch you drink booze at the bar?
Well, the problem is that a lot of simps validate that behavior. A lot of simps who haven't traveled the world or traveled the United States. See, I haven't been outside the USA, but I've been to a lot of different cities. And a lot of people, especially in Cleveland, haven't even been outside their neighborhoods. And they think that the little girl down the street is super hot, but they don't understand that that girl is a California too. And the reason why the girl in question that you're talking about is at the bar doing what she's doing is because nobody's ever told her about her behavior. And, you know, the truth of the matter is that, you know, that's why I make the red pill content, because I really genuinely want to help not only myself, but everybody, you know, to a degree, man, and not look stupid. You know, you got 3 kids, you're going to the bar, you're over the age of 30. It's trashy behavior. It's trashy. And what do you set an example for your own damn daughters if you have any, you know?
So if you're making the red pill content to help people, so what is your stance based on the way that race is portrayed to us? Because if you notice, a lot of the red pill content, like I said, a lot of the relevant content creators in the red pill are black, like Mio Torio's Reviews, Kevininsells, King Riches,
yeah.
And a lot of the people that watch those, there's a lot of anti-white sentiment in these YouTubers. Not them themselves, but mainly the people that follow them.
What do you mean?
So, like, you know, you watch Jessica X?
I think one time I must have been. I think it rings a bell. Somebody was telling me about it. I think I was drunk, but yeah, go ahead.
So Jessica X, she's in England and she's half white, and her dad is Nigerian.
Okay.
So she's a light-skinned black woman that has a British accent. So like she was saying something about another content creator, and people were in her chat saying you can't trust Becky's daughter. So like there's a lot of, or there's a lot of the people when it comes down to stuff, like when I was telling you about when they bring up WAP, they shift it to white people. Like when you listen, like even the content creators will agree with them when their audience says that, or like whenever you listen to black content creators giving red pill to black women will shift it to white women, and then or white people, and then the content creators really don't really check it. They agree with it. What is your feeling on that?
One thing about me is that if you talk to Moneyboy Trey or you watch my shit, you would know that I'm equally racist to everybody. I hate everybody, And I always say that as a disclaimer. I hate everybody. I'm a misanthrope. I really want to go to an island by myself, Savage. But nevertheless, I think what happens with the blame shifting again is shaming language, and it's also a tactic used to void people of responsibility. And who better to take on the responsibility than the great old white man? And I feel like it's nothing racist about it. It's just what a child does when they are incapable of taking on responsibility. They blame it on the adult. And let's just be completely honest. In the Western Hemisphere, the white man is the adult. He is the apex. You know, not not you or you're not the white man. The white man is the elites, of course, and you know that. So they
Correct.
like the elite white man. The white man who owns the corporations, etc. So they blame it on the white man because it's easy. It's like, oh yeah, it's their fault. It's the white man's fault. It's and it's blaming, like it's shaming language. Just like a child. When a child does something bad, he blames it on his little brother. Oh, it's my brother, or he blames it on somebody because they can't take the responsibility. So it's just like with any child. I hate to say it, but a lot of people in the black sector tend to be childlike, and they blame it on whoever the person they think can take on the responsibility.
I agree with you. I find it funny though that they're always on this the white man, like I think that, like people agreeing to shift it to the white man even still doesn't help. It doesn't help anything. It's just like when women
Hold on, let me cut you off. Let me cut you off real quick. Hold on for a second. My fault. Blake said, "Why doesn't Kevin teach guys how to change their oil, fix plumbing, work on small engines, garden, hunt, and start their own cleaning business?" Again, Blake, I've done videos like that. I've done videos on how to trade stocks. I've done videos on how to start a property preservation company, which I have done. Blake, quit trying to hate, dude. I've done videos on all types of different things, on a multiplicity of things. I do stonework, Blake. I know how to do stonework. I know how to do spackle and all that other bullshit, Blake. I've done those videos. I'm sorry, Savage. Go ahead.
You're all good.
I will show you guys. I will show you. Hold on for a second. John said, because he doesn't know how to do it. John, I will literally show you a patio that me and my father built. It took us 3 summers to do. When it gets fucking 5 feet of snow here, I'll show you every fucking thing that we've done. I'm actually at my parents' house right now, chilling. Okay, this is my first time over here in 3 fucking months. So I'll show you the goddamn patio, John. Go ahead, Savage. Please address what you.
So what do you do for work?
Oh man, damn. I taught in Cleveland Public Schools for years, man. At the high school level, I taught at multiplicity of charter schools. Believe it or not, man, I was a probation officer for Cuyahoga County, adult probation. That was like my first job out of college, man. I hated it. I wanted to blow my brains out every day going in that justice center, man. I hated that shit. I did. You know what Safeguard Properties is?
Mm-mm.
So Safeguard Properties, man. I basically it was property preservation, and we did minor repairs, clean outs, winterizations. We did all types of shit for the house. Basically, get the houses ready for marketable conditions. Houses that were previously foreclosed on. I did that for some time. Shit, I had like a little clothing line. I tried to get popping. I've done a lot of shit, man. Right now,
So
it's pretty much
now.
Oh, I just live off my stock options. That's it.
Okay.
That's all I do is live off my stock options, man. I made enough money just to live off stock options. But I need to get back into a job because I need to get more money into my investments, man. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm an electrician by trade. That's what I do.
Oh yeah, what union?
I'm 38.
Oh, 38. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm in local 38.
Okay.
So what this isn't on topic. What stocks you in right now?
All right, so if you're familiar with stock options, man, I do. So stock options are different from common shares, right? So stock options are a great way for you to leverage your investments through contracts. and each contract you control, but you don't own. You control 100 shares of stock. These
Yeah,
contracts expire at. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, I'm familiar. So like you have, if you have,
Oh, you
I'm
familiar?
familiar with what options. Yeah, I don't
Oh, well, shit, then
personally.
I'll tell you exactly what I'm doing. I mean, oh man, Carnival, AMG, Neo. I got it on Neo when Neo was super low. I do
When you say
weekly
Neo, do you mean NIO? Is that what?
NIO, the car company. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I got in on that like a year ago when it was down to like, when it was at $3, right? Yeah. Shit, man. I've done a lot of fucking trades with I do dumbass trades out of the money, way out of the money with you know what out of the money is, right?
No.
Okay, so out of the money is when you do. I don't know if you can still hear me if you walk.
Yeah, I can still hear you. I just
Oh,
have
you
to
still hear
drink
me?
my
Okay.
spaghetti noodles.
Oh, okay, yeah. So with Amazon, let's say for example, like if the strike is, if the current price is at, I don't know, let's say 2,500, I'll pick a strike that's at like $5,000. Now, of course, it's not gonna be $5,000. It's just the idea that what if it goes to 5,000, and I'll do like a weekly contract for that. So, you know, Amazon contracts are always super expensive, but I always lose money with Amazon.
So you don't buy any stocks?
Let me see. Blake said, then why aren't you a millionaire high value man? Again, Blake, I never said I was a high value man. I clearly said I was a low value man like 3 or 4 goddamn times tonight while I was talking. I clearly said that. I clearly said I was a low value man about 3 or 4 times, sir. I never said I was a high value man. Never said it, sir. It's not the channel. Green Bay to evolve.
Okay.
Blake said he lives off his stock options, but he needs supporters to fund his move to Atlanta. He's a liar, no matter what the truth is. Yeah, Blake, you are right. I am a liar. I am a liar. I was begging the other day for my supporters to give me money to go to Atlanta. I believe in capitalism. I don't have a problem with begging because, like, let's keep it real. The white man begs every fucking day. You go to fucking Walmart. What does the white man do? You buy $500 worth of shit. He actually, do you want to donate something? So the white man, he's the best beggar on the planet. And who do I learn from? The white man. So yes. So Blake, you're goddamn right. I was begging to go to Atlanta because the white man does it every damn day. You can't go to Walgreens without without them begging after you make a purchase.
Well, since we're talking about begging, my Cash App and Kevin's Cash App are on the banner if you'd like to support the show and
There
our
we go.
profession of
Thank
begging.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man. So that's pretty much what I do, man.
Stop.
So that's pretty much what I do. I might need to get like a little 9 to 5 real quick. I'm definitely not going back into the corporate world. I hate working in offices. I hate working in the schools. Are you familiar with PEP? I don't know. You said no. Oh man, you on mute?
Sorry, no, I'm not familiar with PEP.
Yeah, I used to work at PEP too. It's a institution for fucked up kids. Man, but right now, man, I have like little clients here and there that I develop their websites for. I do like a lot of freelance shit. It's never steady, but I just can't work for nobody savage, man. I can't do it.
I get it. I have 2 kids and I pay child support for these kids. And the system likes to.
It seems like you take care of them.
I do take care of my kids, but I still get bent.
Fuck.
I still get bent. So with that being said, like I definitely want to start another revenue stream. But unfortunately, because the way the child support system is set up and the way that being a single dad is, like I have to do a bunch of work to cover bills because I'm paying out 2 other households because I have 2 baby moms. I don't have 1 baby mom because I'm not your normal high quality white man. I'm your low quality white man. So,
hey man, in my eyes, man, you're high quality, man. You're an electrician, man. You're a blue, and I can talk about blue collar workers all the time, man. And without the electrician, the fucking corporate, man, couldn't even be at a goddamn office, man. But yeah, but damn, man, like that's unfortunate, man. How much you have to pay in child support? Man.
It's about $600 a month.
Oh, okay. Hold on for a second.
Well,
Hold on for a second.
Okay.
Give me 1 second, guys.
So, guys, I hope everyone's holiday was great. My holiday was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I got to hang out with my son and take my daughter out for the first time. I haven't had my daughter since before the COOF pandemic happened. So this is the first time I've actually taken her out in the last 10 months. But so $600 isn't $600 in the grand scheme of things isn't a whole lot. But unfortunately, I don't like I'm not top rate in the union. So top rate in the union's 40. I make 20.
Okay.
So like after child support and stuff, I bring home about $2,000 a month. That's what I live off of. Yeah. 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 It's great.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't get anything from the system at all, right?
No, I have a penis.
You have a what? You have a penis, right?
Yeah, so they don't.
Hey, listen, man. I used to man, I had a lot of jobs, man. So I used to work at you probably heard of this place. I used to work at a place called Murtis Taylor. You ever heard of it?
Oh no.
Okay, it's basically dealing with it's like a social services little bullshit job. But I had a coworker, of course, a female. She was just telling me how, at 30 I should have this, that, and the other. And I'm like, let me ask you a question. You get child support, don't you? She said, yeah, I do. I said, you get some sort of government assistance with your living arrangements, right? Now, this is one of my coworkers, right?
Yeah.
Who has the same position as I do. She said, yeah, I get certain subsidies from the government. I said, oh, okay. And you were recently divorced, right? So you get something from your husband, right? She said, yeah. I said, men don't get shit. I said, you have the luxury to give me or any other fucking man advice. But I said, the state doesn't give a fuck about men. And, like I said, when you file your taxes at the end of the year, you can get $12,000, $15,000 back. Men don't get shit back. Especially a single man like myself. But it's crazy how
I don't get shit. I don't get shit.
Yeah.
I've not claimed my kids not one time since they've been alive.
Mm-hmm.
I pay like last year I made $42,000 working, and I paid $16,000 in it was like 16,500 in taxes and child support and everything to the government. Mm-hmm. So I brought home about like 25K.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, single moms, they drive me nuts. They drive me nuts. Like I was dating this girl, and she was she got mad at me for some reason, and for some reason she was mad at me. We were dating, and she was like, "Yeah, well, I make less money than you, and then I'm better with money." And I said, "Yeah, but your son's dad, he died, so you get $900 a month in Social Security. You also don't pay child support, and I give you money, so I don't know how you're better than me with money." But still, in her head, she was.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, like I said, man. I hate to say it, but women are a privileged group in society now, especially Western society, and because of that same reason, like they don't look at it like that, and they will never look at it like that, because society has told them, their father or betas in their family has told them that a man should never be in a position where he's quote unquote struggling or whatever, and they don't get that that society isn't built for the luxuries of men, or it's not built to comfort men. You know, it's built for their comfort. You know, like I said, man, a woman will never be on the street tonight in Cleveland or Akron, or they just couldn't. But let something happen to you as a man, you'll be right on the damn streets. Nobody would give a fuck.
Fun fact, fun story.
Go ahead.
Okay, so with my son's mom, so we met off Plenty of Fish. All right. Thank you, Nero. Or thank you, New, for the thank you for the donation. So, long story short, we met off Plenty of Fish. We hung out the first day. I didn't have sex with her. The second day, she popped up at my apartment. At that time, I didn't think I could have kids. All right. She got pregnant the first time we had sex. Okay. Now, my son's mom is black. My son is mixed. So after she got pregnant, I was like, you know what? I should do the right thing. We should probably date. After we were dating for a little bit, I was like, we should probably get married before my son's born because that's the right thing to do for this child. She told me no because that was a big like getting married was a big deal. And she was like 5 months pregnant when she told me no. That carrying my kid, that wasn't a big deal. But marriage, too much. So then she ended up moving into a motel while I was paying her child support, and her mom, and 2 kids were staying in a one room, 1 bed motel room.
Mm-hmm.
So her older daughter, her dad's in prison for 12 years. He's been in prison since before she was born. So instead of going to CPS and making a case against her in court that I should get my son, because I didn't want her to lose her daughter, I just kept paying the child support and dealing with it. Her mom's boyfriend started whooping her ass in front of the kids, in front of her, and I went and grabbed her and the kids and tucked them in my apartment. They stayed with me for a little over a month. I paid for everything in the house, paid the bills, still paid child support, all this stuff. I was supposed to claim, this was in December, so I was supposed to claim my son the following year. So she gets a place by stacking up the child support and whatnot. She moves out in January. When she moves out, she gets an apartment. In February, she files for my son. So unfortunately, the amount of money that I was spending, I was like, it won't be a big deal. I'll make it back up when I get the tax money back.
Mm-hmm.
Blase. So she ends up fucking me, claiming my kid. I lose the apartment. I left my parents' house when I was 17 years old, 18 years old. Never lived with my parents from that point on until I had to move in with my parents for 27 days. Yeah. Yeah, and that was my kid's mom. It was like, hey, I need an apartment. I need to get stuff for this apartment. Fuck you. Like, oh, that's cool. Thanks.
That's crazy, ain't it?
It is.
Yeah.
That's how they do you, bro.
Yeah, trust me, I know. I've seen it. I've seen it, man. I've witnessed it all my life, and that's why I say that. Hey, listen, Savage, man. People get mad at me on my platform, like the trolls or, the haters, or even like some of the people who follow me. They get mad at me when I say you need to vet women. And they're like, well, who the fuck are you to say you need to vet women? I'm like, you need to vet women because you don't want to run into situations like this. You want to make sure that the girl you're even talking to, that the mother of the female is on your side, even when you're the boyfriend. Listen, hey man, I have a lot of people who follow me, man, that DM me. They say, man, Labuto, man, or Kevininsells, you are so on point with what the fuck you're talking about. I'm like, yeah, when you date a chick, you want to make sure that her mom looks good, and you want to make sure that you have a relationship with her mother, because you want her mother to call her and say, listen, you got a good dude here. You're fucking up. See, you want the mother to talk to her like that. But see, I'm pretty sure in your situation, the mother was on the daughter's side, wasn't she?
Well, unfortunately, her mom was in jail.
Oh, her
So
mom was in jail too.
her mom, so after I grabbed her and the kids from the house and she stayed with me, her mom's boyfriend started whooping her ass again. And then it happened to where she ended up stabbing old boy to death like 2-3 weeks after she moved in with me, and then she got arrested for murder. So she really wasn't.
Whoa, that's going too fast. What happened?
So she, in that same hotel room, they were drinking like a week or two after.
Your child's mother.
That, yeah. So my child's grandmother. The grandmother's boyfriend was the one that was whooping her ass.
Okay.
My son's mom was just there. So when I grabbed them, her mom stabbed her mom's boyfriend to death like a week or two after they moved in with me. And she's been locked up since then.
The grandmother.
She's in her 50s and she got 10 years. So she wasn't there to side with the daughter at all.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But so at that time, I didn't think I could have kids because I'm 6 years sober. I was a criminal and a drug addict for pretty much my entire life until I was like 26.
Oh, yeah?
So from the time I started having sex until my son's mom, I never wore condoms. I never pulled out. I never did anything that was, safe. And I never got a girl pregnant. I never had a late pregnancy. I never got abortion phone calls. I didn't think I could have kids. But when I met my son's mom, either she was super fertile or my sperm count had increased since I wasn't doing drugs anymore. Either way, she got pregnant. And then my daughter's mom, we were dating for like 5-6 months, and I thought she was trying to trap me with a baby, so I stopped having sex with her, and I broke up with her a month later. And yeah, she ended up being pregnant. Do you have any friends that have to deal with CPS or anything like that here in Cleveland?
I do. I have a lot of friends, a lot of fraternity brothers, all types of people, man. I have to deal with child support, man.
So my daughter's mom was getting high while she was pregnant.
Yeah.
And CPS was like, oh, it's cool. Like, she can keep her.
Yeah, I'm actually, a lot of my friends, because I'm single with no kids, man. I'm damn near 40, and people find that shocking. And I'm like, yeah, man, because me personally, I only want kids if I'm wealthy and with the right woman. But the people that I see who have children, they call me all the time, and they ask me like, "What would you do in this situation? What would you do in this situation?" And Savage, I hate to say this, man. I'm blunt a lot of times, man, and people hate this about me. And I say, man, I would have never even fucked that chick in the first fucking place. I never even got her fucking pregnant. But it's neither here nor but it's neither here nor there at this point. The thing is that the courts fuck over men, and a lot of times it's men who take care of their kids. It's the weirdest thing to me. Like, dude, when I was a PO, in 2009. I was at the I don't know if you're familiar with the whole system downtown, man, with that, but I was a PO down there, and at the Marion building, I would be in the elevator and some dudes would come in, and I'd be like, "Oh, what you in here for?" They're like, "Oh man, I'm just here to report for child support. I missed my payments or whatever the fuck." I'm like, "God damn." He's like, "Yeah, man, I make this amount. I take care of my kids, and the bitch still put me on child support." And I'm like, man, it's a good dude right here. But it was a lot of dudes like that, like dudes who took care of their children. But like I said, the system fucks over men, and I see it, man. I used to work in the courts, and I saw it. I'm like, this doesn't make any goddamn sense. But it's the lawmakers who put these laws into place, if I'm not mistaken, about child support, if I'm not mistaken. And then the courts have to implement it at the the judiciary level. But it's crazy how men are fucked over in child support. It's wild, man.
When I got put on child support for my son, I was paying $1,300 a month, making $17 an hour.
It's ridiculous, man.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
do you actually end up? Uh, I didn't ask you this prior, but do you actually ever own any stock, or do you only just do options?
I just do stock options. I used to do common shares like a couple of years ago, but I think this just my opinion. I think that you need to have a lot of money. Like you need to be like a millionaire to really make money with stocks, or you need to have like insider information when you do common shares, because you could have 100 shares of McDonald's, and McDonald's doesn't fluctuate in the market like that. It may go up $2 or $3 in a week. It doesn't really matter because you're not going to sell all of those shares just to profit $300. That's more like a stock that you're going to keep for years. But see, stock options are so sweet that, dude, it just takes one day, man. And if a stock goes up so much and it exceeds the strike price, you could be looking at $20,000, $30,000 off of a $500 damn contract that you purchased. Dude, I made in one day. I think it was back in April of after the pandemic had hit. I made like $7,000 in one day because I bought a few contracts with Carnival. Carnival had went up for a minute in April, and then it went back down, of course. But yeah, I made like $7,000 or $8,000 in one day with Carnival, and I must have spent like $600 for the contract.
So I haven't really got into options, all like that. Right now, have you heard of Sundial?
Yeah, I have actually.
Yeah, so I'm in Sundial right now, and I'm waiting for it to hit the 150 mark.
Okay. Who do you trade with?
I'm with Webull.
Okay, Weeble. Okay. You ever thought about opening up a TD Ameritrade account?
No, I really haven't.
Yeah, they got an office out in well, not an office, but they have a branch out in Rocky River. No, it's somewhere out west, but they got one on the east side too. It's at Pinecrest. But
Okay.
anyway, yeah. So go there, man, and get you a TD Ameritrade account as well, man. But they have a nice little platform called Thinkorswim where you can do graph. I don't know if you do technical analysis, man, but it's great for TA.
So why do you trade with TD?
Well, I trade with TD because it's just, I mean, first of all, it was introduced to me first, and then it's easy for me because they have a good platform to trade with. They have a platform that goes with it called Thinkorswim. So, you can look at the charts, you can look at real time information, etc.
What's the cost to trade with TD?
Well, there's no more commissions on commons, but it's I think for options it's about $1 a contract or something like that. I can't remember. Maybe something cheaper than that. But to actually open up an account is free. Just open up the account and then you just fund it.
Because the whole reason that I didn't end up doing TDs because back when I started getting into the market, they were doing.
Why is Blake hating on me so hard, man? What'd you say, bro?
That's Blake, bro. That's just Blake. He just wants to smoke all the time. Me and him do it all the time. But
yeah.
So I took a $500 investment with common shares, and I've increased it to like $1,700 in like the last month or two.
That's pretty good.
So when this merger gets announced with Sundial, my market will be about my account's value will be about $4,000.
Okay.
So
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's always good to do common shares, man. But like again, I think you need a lot of money. You ever thought about penny shares?
Yeah, that's what I stick to.
Okay, so I don't stick to pennies. Okay.
So like the way that I end up making my money is when fuel cell was at like $3-4, and like in the last month or two it did that sharp climb to $9 and then it dropped back down. I made money from that. Here, I'll just go through my account and tell you what stocks I've actually bought. Like, I don't really buy a whole lot of I don't buy a lot of big name brand. Like, it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. Like, so I made 500 some dollars off Fuel Cell. I made 200 some dollars on Gevo. Gevo just went up. I made a little bit of money off Plug. I made about $300 off Everglory Intel. Like, I don't really buy stocks that are over $5 very often. Like, I bought into Sundial at 53 cents a share, and I'm holding like 2,700 shares. Like, I'm probably going to end up going into options here once I get a little bit more money in my account.
Well, like I said, man, I'm sorry. What you say?
Go ahead.
Well, like I was saying, man, I think about options is that they have expiration dates, and you don't really need a lot of money either, man. You can get you a nice little contract for like $50. Hell, you can get you contracts for cheaper than that, and then see what the expiration dates are. And that $50 contract may turn into $1,000. You just never know. It all really depends. Now, of course, I wouldn't say buy a contract that expires a week out. You probably lose your premium, which is the money you pay for the contract. But I would say get into options as soon as possible, man. I don't even think you can do options on Webull though, right?
You can.
Oh, you can? Okay, so I didn't know that. It's kind of like choppy, the feed or whatever.
New wants to know if you have Tesla with TD Ameritrade.
I've traded Tesla before. Yeah, I've traded Tesla. I've traded it before. You should have probably got in on Tesla like a couple of years ago. Same thing with like a Chipotle stock. Like, I wish I would have got in Chipotle years ago, man. Chipotle's like what, $1,100 a share right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I wish I would have got into it a long time ago.
I'm gonna end up, once it becomes a little bit more stable, I want to get back into, for a long-term investment, like Neo, they're saying it's going to be like $300 within like the next five years. $100, $300 in the next like 5 years.
I can see that. That's a nice price point. I can see that. I had gave Neo a price point of like 50 last year. I wish I would have stayed with it. But yeah, I can see that. I can see Neo going up to $300 within the next couple of years. I could definitely see that. There's another company too. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Plug is going to be one of those companies.
Yeah. Me and my fraternity brother made a lot of money off of Plug. Yeah, we bought some options with Plug.
Yeah, I think Gevo is going to be like Fuel Cell, Gevo, and Plug are going to be pretty big in the next 5 years.
Yeah, yeah, and this is off the subject, but before they did a 4-1 split, I had told my cousin to get Apple months before they did the 4-1 split, and my cousin made, I think, like $12,000 off the contract. He spent like $600 for one contract. He made $12,000 off of it. And the funny thing is that he sold it in. I told him to buy it back in April. It expired this December, but he sold it in September. So he didn't even wait. He just, whenever the stock split happened, he sold it before it, but he still made like $12,000 off of it.
He would have made a retarded amount of money had he kept it.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I think so. Well, remember too, like, I don't know where Apple it is right now, but you got to think about time value as well. Like the closer you get to expiration date, you lose value as well if it hasn't exceeded a certain price. But then again, I don't know after the split what the strike price would have been anyway. But put it this way, he made some nice money before the stock split. Yeah.
So Apple is, if I'm looking at it right now, is 131.
Okay. Yeah, before they did the stock split, what was Apple? I think it was like 4 something. I can't remember. But he had like a nice little strike price on it, and then it exceeded the strike price. So he got the hell up out of there. And after the split, it was at 108, and then you're saying it went up to 131. Yeah, he probably made some a little bit more money. Yeah, not an exponential amount more, but he would have made some more money.
It'd been like an extra $3,000.
Possibly so. I mean, I don't know. It's a lot of calculations with options. I hate the calculations with options. I cheat with options. I just use an options calculator. I'm like, I ain't doing all that shit. Yeah, probably a couple of more grand. Yeah. He also, damn, what the fuck else? Zoom. He had bought a Zoom contract the day before Zoom skyrocketed. He would have made like $60,000 off of one contract, but he sold it. He sold it right before the closing, and then the next day it went up. So that's the beauty of options, man.
Did you see DoorDash?
Did it go public?
Yeah.
When did it go public?
It went public, I think, last week or the week before.
Okay.
So
yeah.
When people were buying it, before it went public, you were able to buy shares for $95 a share.
Uh-huh.
As soon as it hit the market, it went to like 190, like first day, doubled. It's now sitting at I think it's 158. Like doubling your money like that is just nice. Like I think that's great.
Yeah, it is. I mean, like I said, man, like a lot of people don't know about this, or a lot of people think it's a scam, but a lot of people really don't understand, like, this is how people get their wealth. They get their wealth in the stock market. You know, large numbers of people just, dude, I was at a table on the West Side, and it was an older black guy. He was with his wife, a white woman, and he was like, yeah, honey, if I didn't get into that one trade, we would have been able to buy the house. I'm saying, Jesus. And people don't know this. People think it's a scam, and like a lot of times, it's hard even in the sector that we're in to talk about this to certain people because they're just ignorant of this knowledge, man. But I tell people, man, all the time, man, you know, the stock market and stock options in particularly is where it's at. And I don't dabble with Forex or commodities trading, none of that. But you know, this is where it's at, though. How long you been doing it?
I started doing trading, like buying stocks, like the beginning of the year, and then like maybe I started last year, and then I ended up like I altogether I had like $1,000 last year in my account, and then I doubled it up to $2,000, and I made a bad buy, and I lost like all of it. Like I lost like
you blew your account.
Yeah, I emptied my account. Yeah, and then I didn't really do anything for the week or for this year until like a month or two ago.
Yeah, blowing your account is gonna happen. I've blown like several accounts because I trade the way that my lifestyle is. I'm more, you know, I hate to say it, man, but I like taking a lot of risk. And I've blown like three accounts. You know, I've lost, I think, you know, one account I lost like $7,000, $8,000 or something. But it's gonna happen, man. But the more you do it, if you don't quit, you'll probably get really good at it, man. Like I've seen people. This is guy in Detroit. His name is Jason Brown, man. I've seen him go from 5,000 to damn near $1 million, man, in like 7-8 years, man. It's the wildest thing to me, man.
So I know a kid that he started investing money in the market at 23. Yeah. And he put a $500 investment into Robinhood, and by like he's like 26 or 27 now, and he's retired. He took money out of his his account, invested it in a business, and now he doesn't work. Like he was in Europe last year for like 8 months on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
drives a brand new Beamer. Like, I know people that have become rich
Yeah.
from stocks.
Yeah, and a lot of times it's not like they're, people think like, oh yeah, it's like you're gonna be ultra millionaire. It doesn't really happen like that. Like I'm pretty sure the kid that you're talking about probably, he probably had between 500 to a mil. But it's more than enough money to live that kind of lifestyle for damn near 8 months in Europe. You could definitely do it carefree.
Well, he took money out of his account and bought into a business, and now the business funds him. So he does, like, I'm sure he still has money in the market, and I'm sure he's still making money from that. But he used his $500 investment to grow it to then buy a business that made him more money, and now he doesn't have to work.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good, man. Like he must have been doing. I don't know what he was doing, whether it was options or, he said he was in Robinhood. So I don't know if Robinhood does options, but that's still good shit, though.
Yeah.
Nevertheless.
At one point in time, when he showed me his account information, he had like $29,000 in his account, and the only amount of money he had invested was $500.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's good shit. That's real good shit.
So, how often do you go live, and how often do you put content up?
Dude, I go live every. Okay, yeah, I go live every day. Because my main channel is down. I used to go live like 3 times a day. But because I'm on a backup channel, maybe once. I could do regular content in terms of standalone videos. I probably do that maybe once every 3 days. I'm allowed to put that on the main channel. Yeah, like I said, man, it sucks not having the main channel because it's a loss of income, but it's cool, man. It's taught me to cultivate other options. Cultivate other avenues. I have a website now, so I utilize that a little bit more since I've been strike down for the past 90 days. Well, will be strike down for the past 90 days.
How long has your channel been down for?
I beg your pardon?
How long has your channel been down for?
I've been shut down for the past like 2 weeks. So I got until March. Something wrong with this phone. Yeah.
So let me know the next time that you go live, and I'll jump over on your live and we'll discuss the topic. This topic wasn't very well planned. Like I literally had my kids this weekend, so like I really wasn't.
Give me 1 second, bro. I'm trying to get this buffer sound. You said what now?
I said this topic really wasn't that well thought out. I had my kids this weekend, so I really wasn't thinking about YouTube, but I definitely needed to do something today because it's been probably like 3-4 days.
You said this topic tonight wasn't well thought out. I think you did a great job, bro. I think you did a really good job.
It was all right, but I'm just saying, like, we'll get you back on and we'll go more in depth into something.
Absolutely.
But the next time that you go live, let me know, and I'll end up jumping over there and we can discuss something. How do you feel about the level up girls? The level up, the like the pink pill, the women that are like level up girls that are going after Kevin.
I don't think nothing of them. I don't think nothing of them at all. I mean, women don't have any power. I think a lot of these women are actually afraid of the true power that Kevin Samuels has. That's why they're paying him attention, because obviously if he was a nobody, they wouldn't pay him. You know how women are. They wouldn't pay him no attention. Again, women are practicing hyperbole even at that level. What they want to do is that they are jockeying for position now, because the more famous Kevin Samuels get, the more famous they get by fucking trolling him, by being associated with his name. That's all what they're doing. Let's just keep it real. If he was a nobody, if he was gay like they say, if he was whatever, they wouldn't give a fuck about him if he was a small time guy. Women don't function like that. Let you be somebody, a complete nobody, just ranting up at the mouth. Women won't care. But because he's a big name, they're going to attach their name to him because they know that they're still going to be elevated when he's elevated. It's all a scam. At
Well,
least that's what I
I
think.
asked you what you think about them. I really meant about like how big these people's followings are. Like the pink pill and stuff, they have like these women have decent sized followings feeding this bullshit to women, and women
Yeah, it's a culture.
soaking
It's
it
a
up.
cult. I'm not really familiar with the pink pill, but I'm telling you, it's a cult. And like I said, these women are following them because a lot of these women are depressed, they're miserable, and a lot of women want to be led. But I think it's absurd that these women are listening to these females because a lot of it is
Yeah,
nonsensical, isn't it not?
it really is, and also it is a culture. It definitely is a culture, and like the sad thing is, it's even average girls that don't think they're feminists. Like
Yeah,
not many girls that have told me they're not a feminist, but then like they say like feminist shit.
yeah,
Like it's so deep in our society that I think it's going to be pretty hard for it to change.
yeah.
Now, when you do your videos, do you do it from your phone or do you do it from? Do you have a camera, a setup?
I just do it from my phones, man. You talking about the standalone videos?
Yeah, any of
Yeah,
your
I just do
content.
it from my phone. Oh well, standalones for my phone, but when I do content, I do either my MacBook or my phone.
So, did you
Yeah.
invest in a camera or anything like that?
Nah, I want to. I want to invest in a camera and I want to invest in a microphone real soon.
So,
Yeah.
I actually I have a 77D that I use. That's not what I'm using here. I have a webcam.
Yeah.
But have you been looking into cameras at all?
I have. My brother, he's a photographer, so I've been looking at some of the stuff that he has. But yeah.
Okay, sweet. Because I started doing photography when I invested in YouTube because I have a camera now. But
Yeah.
I'm looking into getting the Canon RP.
Yeah.
It's a pretty decent camera. It's around $1,000, but
Okay.
if you're if your brother has any old cameras, you looked into there's a what's it called? It's a 4K. It's called a 4K cam link. If you get that, you can pretty much take most cameras and make it into a web camera.
Okay. Yeah, I might have to do that. Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Because those are it's only like $130 for the cam link.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna check it. Yeah, I'll definitely check into that, man. Like, I want to set up a studio and everything, and be set. But yeah, definitely.
Well, I'm gonna get off here and I'm gonna eat some
Absolutely.
food because I need to do some shit before I go to work tomorrow morning. But
Absolutely.
keep in
It's been a
touch.
great conversation.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you coming on the show.
Absolutely. Thank you, man. Have a good one.
You too, man.
Yep.
So, guys, this was about high value, but really it was just a discussion. Thank you guys for coming and join me on this Sunday, even though you get the holiday's over. Yeah, there are some trolls in here. It always happens. Blake mentioning you, but I'm probably going to end up going live tomorrow. I have there's a story that I want to cover about a woman who got off on stuff with a kid. You guys can always email me at savageredrecovery@gmail.com, or you guys can message me on Instagram. You guys can send me stories, or if you guys want to talk, have a topic you want to go over. But I need to eat, and I need to wash some clothes, and I need to get my ass ready for work in the AM because I will be working outside. And if I don't get prepared for tomorrow morning, it's gonna suck. No, Nicole, I'm not mentioning you. Like, I'm not throwing shade at anybody. I was throwing shade at Blake being a troll because Blake's a troll. He wants all that smoke. But if you guys aren't familiar, I do have a Patreon. You guys can always go there. I post some content there. You guys can talk to me directly. There's a Discord if you go through the Patreon. But as always, guys, stay savage.